Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the video. On number 4, we're going to divide binomial into a trinomial. So let's go ahead and get that set up. We've got y plus 5 is our divisor, and it's going to go into 2y squared plus 3y minus 40. Okay, so let's go through our steps. We already see it's in standard form. So we're going to focus only on the first term as far as our dividing. So we need to divide y into 2y squared. So I'm going to do that over here on the side. So 2y squared divided by y is going to be 2. And then y to the 2 minus 1 is just y. So 2y. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2y up here above my y term. Now I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to multiply my 2y times my entire divisor of y plus 5. So let's go do that over here. So we got 2y times y plus 5. Okay, so this is a distributive property. So 2y times y is 2y squared. 2y times 5 is plus 10y. So I'm going to write that here. I'm going to say 2y squared plus 10y. And since that whole thing has to be subtracted, I'm putting it in parentheses because that reminds me to change the sign of both of them inside. So it's going to be a negative 2y squared and a negative 10y. So when I subtract, those get canceled out, and I've got 3y minus 10y gives me a negative 7y, and then I bring down my minus 40. Okay, I start my whole process over again. I'm going to divide my y into my negative 7y. So again, over here on the side, I'm going to say negative 7y divided by y. My y's cancel out, so I'm left with negative 7. Put that up on the top. Now I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply my negative 7 times my entire divisor, so negative 7 times y plus 5. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply, distribute. So negative 7y minus 35. So that's going to go up here. So negative 7y minus 35. And again, I'm subtracting, so I'm going to have to change the sign of everybody inside my parentheses. So it's going to be a plus and a plus. Those cancel out. Negative 40 plus 35 is negative 5. So that's my remainder. So my answer is the 2y minus 7 up on the top plus my remainder, negative 5, divided by my divisor, y plus 5. There's my answer. Okay, so now let's look at number 6. No, excuse me, number 5. Number 5 I want you to do on your own. So you're going to follow the same division steps you already know. Make sure you're very careful when you're subtracting the binomial that you change the signs inside the parentheses. So pause your video, do number 5 on your own, and then check back for the explanation. Okay, so you should have gotten the answer of 2b minus 3 with no remainder. Since the remainder is 0, it is a factor. Okay, on number 6, we're actually going to divide a trinomial by a trinomial. Actually, those are easier because there's a lot less steps involved. You're still just going to focus on the very first term of the divisor. So in this case, you're focusing on dividing using the x squared for dividing. So go ahead and give this your best shot. Pause your video, and then when you've got it completed, check back for the answer. So this one actually was a very simple one-stepper. Our answer was 7 plus the remainder, which is 10x minus 39 over x squared minus x plus 5. Because there's a remainder, this is not a factor. All right, so let's look at number 7. So number 7, they're throwing in, making sure that you get it into standard form. So let's get number 7 set up together. When I look at what I'm dividing into, it's not in standard form. I don't have a b term in here. So when I set up my division, I'm going to say b minus 1, and I've got my 4b squared, but I have to have a b term. So I'm going to say plus 0b minus 3. Now I've got it in standard form. I can go through the process. So I want you to pause your video, go through the process, get number 7 completely solved, and then check back for the explanation. Okay, so as you went through the process, you should have come up with the answer of 4b plus 4 plus a remainder of 1 over the divisor b minus 1. Okay, our last one, number 8, is an application problem. And they've given us the area of a rectangle, and the length of a rectangle. So they're going to want us to divide our area by our length to come up with the width. So we're going to do this using long division, and go ahead and set up your problem and divide it. Pause your video while you're doing it, and then come back for the final explanation. Okay, so as you divided your area, divided it by the length, you came up with a width of 2x plus 4. It is a factor of it. There was a remainder of 0.